Lafferty, I would encourage you not to say anything just for now. The prosecutor is going to talk in just a moment, and then I will talk to you about
As an indigenous person from California, I'm not sure you have any jurisdiction over me, and I wish that my tribal chairman, Curtis Lachusa from Mesa Grande, was informed that we have our own law and we have our own lawyers.
Mr. Lafferty. Like I talked about, we can talk about your case, but let's go forward with this for now. And any questions you have going forward, we can talk about it after your hearing. Okay.
Fine.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. What you just saw was a short snippet of Raymond Charles Lafferty that was in court for a previous proceeding with Judge Tim Lewis. Judge Tim Lewis is out of Washington State. All right. Mr. Lafferty, I call him Sir Raymond Charles Lafferty because he reminds me of Sir Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lamb. Has that accent, has that really smooth voice. All right. And he kind of got a smooth style to him as well. But not smooth enough to keep him out of jail. But he was charged with criminal trespassing. Some people believe he did it on purpose because he was homeless and he'd rather stay in jail than to go back out on the street. But in this proceeding, he's actually going to be let out. All right. With all that being said, let me shout out TP from Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame for putting me onto this proceeding. All right. So let's get to this proceeding.
Sir, good morning in the Nisqually Jail. What is your name, please?
Raymond Charles Lafferty.
Thank you, Mr. Lafferty. Two matters before the court this morning, case 25L004378 and 25L004397. Each of these matters are before the court for a trial status conference hearing. Ms. Ganem, good morning. Are you representing Mr. Lafferty at this proceeding?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. What is the status of the trial status?
And Your Honor, parties have reached a resolution in this matter. Mr. Lafferty does plan to enter a change of plea to 25L004397, and upon acceptance, the city will be moving to dismiss the other cause number.
Mr. Graham, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Gannon, may I inquire of Mr. Lafferty at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lafferty, I have in front of me a document entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty under case 25L004397. It indicates that your true name is Raymond Charles Lafferty, that you are 56 years of age, and you have post-high school education. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Thank you. Mr. Lafferty, this document also tells me that under this case, you are asking to change your plea from not guilty to the charge of criminal trespass in the second degree. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Mr. Lafferty, have you had an opportunity to discuss with Ms. Ganem what the elements of that charge are? In other words, what the prosecutor would have to prove were that charge to proceed to a trial?
Yes.
Paragraph 5 lists out a number of constitutional rights that you are waiving by entering this guilty plea. Have you reviewed those rights with Ms. Ganem?
I have indeed.
Paragraph 6 indicates the recommendation that the prosecutor anticipates making to the court concerning sentence in this matter. If I accept your guilty plea, it appears that the prosecution is prepared to recommend 25 days in jail, credit for 25 days already served, and for, I believe, the matter to close. Is that correct, Mr. Graham?
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation from the city would be to close the matter upon entry of the plea.
Mr. Lafferty, is that your understanding of what the prosecutor is supposed to be recommending?
Indeed.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lafferty, you do understand that is just a recommendation. The court is not required to follow it. The court can impose up to 90 days in jail and up to a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Indeed, I do.
All right. Mr. Lafferty, do you further understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States, that this guilty plea could carry with it negative immigration consequences for you?
I do.
Paragraph 11 of this document asks you to state in your own words what it is you did that makes you guilty of the crime of criminal trespass in the second degree. That statement reads as follows. On July 19th, 2025 in Lakewood, Washington, I went to Kiwanis Park knowing I was previously trespassed from there, period. Sir, is that a true and correct statement of what you did that makes you guilty of the crime of criminal trespass in the second degree?
I would say so.
All right. Mr. Lafferty, just a few more questions for you, sir. Did you read this guilty plea form yourself? Did Ms. Ganem read it to you, or both?
She read it to me over the phone.
All right. And did she answer all of your questions regarding the contents of this document?
And then some, yes.
Thank you. Mr. Lafferty, are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Indeed, I am.
All right. No one has threatened you or made any promises to you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
All right. Mr. Lafferty, I'm going to ask you formally for the record, at this time, under case number 25L004397, how do you choose to plead to the crime of criminal trespass in the second degree? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Court is
Not
going to
having
accept.
known the laws, I apologize for taking the court's time on that. I figured they were similar to the laws of California and were not.
Quite all right, sir. Thank you. The court is going to accept Mr. Lafferty's plea of guilty at this time. The court believes Mr. Lafferty is a highly intelligent individual. That is based upon my conversation with him today, as well as prior conversations. The court has really no doubt that he understands fully everything in this plea document, and that he is entering into this plea knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily after having had an opportunity to consult with Ms. Ganem. It does appear to the court that Mr. Lafferty is very intelligent. He understands this charge. He understands the potential consequences of this plea. His statement has provided a factual basis for the plea, and it does appear that he is choosing to enter a plea of guilty, so the court will accept his plea of guilty at this time. Court has signed that guilty plea form. Court is going to grant the prosecution's motion to dismiss the second case involving Mr. Lafferty. 25L004378 will be dismissed on motion of the prosecution pursuant to pretrial negotiations between the parties. Mr. Graham, as to case number ending in 4397, I think I understand what the prosecution's recommendation is. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that recommendation, sir?
Your Honor, I didn't do the math myself. I trust Ms. Ganem to have done so as far as the 36 days. But the overall intent is to see to it that Mr. Lafferty is released today, and that the matter to close.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Ms. Ganem, is there anything that you would like to share with the court on behalf of Mr. Lafferty?
Your Honor, it is an agreed recommendation. I do feel it is appropriate given the facts of this situation. And I do agree with the court. After speaking with Mr. Lafferty on quite a few occasions over the phone, he is very articulate and he's displayed no confusion about the process and going forward. With regard to these specific incidents, the real issue is that he is not familiar with this area. He has lived in California and has recently moved up here, and he is unhoused. So he is unfamiliar with resources that are available to him. He doesn't really know where to go to obtain or even look into resources with regarding to housing and any sort of assistance. So that's really the underlying basis for these two charges. And based on that, I do feel that this is a fair way to resolve this matter, and I'd ask the court to follow that recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Ganem. Ms. Ganem, I know that your firm has a social worker on staff that is very proficient in providing information on resources to individuals who may not be aware of what those resources are, or where to obtain those resources. Has any of that information been provided to Mr. Lafferty?
Not yet, but we will have her connect with him for sure.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lafferty, you have the right to make a statement to the court before the court imposes sentence. You don't have to say anything. I'm not going to hold it against you if you choose not to say anything, but that is a right that you enjoy under the law. Is there anything you would like to tell the court before I impose sentence, sir?
I would like to apologize for wasting the court's time. I wasn't aware of the park rules in this part of the country and felt that they were universal across the entire republic. That is of my fault, and I shouldn't have wasted your time.
Not at all, sir. I appreciate that. The court does believe this is an appropriate recommendation, and the court is going to follow it in all respects. The court is going to impose 25 days in jail, give Mr. Lafferty credit for 25 days that he has already served, order that this case is to close at this time, and that Mr. Lafferty should be released from custody forthwith. Mr. Lafferty, you should be released from custody later today, sir. I would highly encourage you, based on the record that has been made by Ms. Ganem, to connect with the people at her law firm to see if they can put you in contact with some of the resources that she mentioned to assist you going forward, sir.
Thank you very much. I will.
Thank you. You can go ahead and let the officer know that your hearing is done. You should be released this afternoon. Have a great day.
You too, sir.
All right, so that's the end of that proceeding with Judge Tim Lewis and Sir Raymond Charles Lafferty. In the first proceeding, he actually, at the end of one of the when they ended court and went into recess, he called Judge Lewis an incompetent fool. And in this proceeding, he was very polite. So something must have changed in his head or with his circumstances, and he actually wanted to get out of prison or jail. All right. So with that being said, hopefully he's not going to go back to that park and violate whatever conditions that he has on his release. And Judge Tim Lewis, he handled everything well. He always stays calm. He stays even keeled. He never really kind of lets these sovereign citizens or these defendants kind of get him riled up. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. But like I said, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm fighting to get to 20,000 subscribers. I just hit 10,000. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything, and it really supports this channel if you like this type of content. All right. So I'll catch you on the next video. God bless. Peace.